Hello, my name's Caroline Diana Bobart and I'm a life change strategist. You've landed on this video, on this page, because you want to receive this message because you suspect that there's a part of you that is lost to yourself. And that is actually not as uncommon as we think it is. Very often, the women that I encounter in my work, they feel a bit off, and sometimes it's very difficult for them to find the words to describe why they don't feel part of their own lives, why they don't feel effective in what they do, why they don't feel present to their relationships and their feelings and their tasks. And very often there's an accompanying feeling of feeling isolated and of having nowhere to turn, feeling alone, feeling scared, feeling lost and scared and not knowing where or which way to turn. And so that can show up for different women at different times. It could be in your partnership or in your marriage, or in your 20s. Maybe you're at the start of your career, or it could be that you've just been coming out of a period of intense life change, such as a divorce or a bereavement, a health scare, a relocation. Maybe you've just had a child. That changes things, that changes everything. So just to tell you a little bit about my story and what has positioned me to be able to help women like you, what I'd like for you to know about me is that I've always been a very confident, very capable, one-woman powerhouse, and especially in my business, it really enabled me in my 20s to be hugely successful. But it was only in 2011, when my daughter was born, that I really came to deeply understand what it feels like to be lost. What it feels like to be lost to oneself. And as beautiful as it is, and it was, to behold, the miracle of life, my pregnancy was a difficult one, but that's just, a side note. The real issue was really that my daughter's birth was physically and emotionally, mentally, spiritually, on every level you can imagine, the most jarring event of my life. And because of the after effects of the birth, that was such a powerful experience, and in many ways there were so many aspects of it that were uncontrollable, and I felt in that moment that she was being born. I would call it a 2-day moment. Actually, it did take 2 days for her to be born, and I would say that in that 2-day moment that there was so much that felt out of my control. It really gave me a sense of how helpless I was in that moment, how vulnerable I felt, and how exposed I was. I was absolutely not in control. It was out of my hands, and I was in the hands of the doctors. And as it turned out, I would end up with this beautiful, precious little girl. But because there was just so much that went on in that 2-day moment around her birth, I didn't really understand for a long time afterwards that I was lost. And in fact, you could say that I was so lost that I didn't know that I was lost. So the only thing that I knew at that time was that I was clinging to life by a thread, and I was filled with determination. But I didn't have a clue of how to begin finding myself again. And at that point, I could only focus on the baby steps. The possibility of rejoining life as the woman I used to be, confident and happy and connected, it seemed very, very far away. And as it turned out, it was this same unwavering determination and my deep inner knowing that enabled me over a period of years to pull myself out of this big dark hole. So in a society where there is no space held for women who are lost or feel lost, like lost souls, or who are lost to themselves in a society where there is no place that you can go. I began groping my way forward, step by step, by uncertain step, and all the while I was whispering words of like encouragement to myself that one day I would find myself again, I would find the light again, I would rejoin life again. And I had no idea how that was gonna take place, but I was determined to get there, whatever it took. And so my life and my work has really taught me that every day there are countless women who feel lost to themselves because they've been through either loss or grief or some huge life change that's left them reeling. And right now they're in pain because they probably don't recognize, they probably haven't articulated to themselves that they are in fact lost, disconnected from their true selves. And that's a really painful place to be. That was the place that I was at after my daughter was born. And that's what happens when you go through a jarring experience, a jarring life experience. Part of you steps aside so that you can cope. And the part of you that can be on autopilot and not have to feel and not have to think, that's the part of you that carries on. So the woman, my woman, the woman that I work with, and the woman that you likely are, if you've been through a big life change and lost yourself, can recognize the symptoms because you feel like you're clinging to life by a thread. You don't know what the matter is. Because, like me, perhaps you were so lost that you don't know that you're lost. It feels like you don't live your life in color anymore. That things are just this blurry, grey landscape. And that there is no joy, there is no feeling, there is no life. You might feel numb and detached from your feelings, your dreams, your hopes, your relationships, your life. You might find it difficult to decide what to cook or what to wear in the morning. Perhaps you open your closet and nothing seems to suit you anymore. Nothing seems to make you feel good anymore. You have a hard time managing your time because you feel indecisive. You don't know what you want to do. You don't know why you need to do it. You procrastinate. It's hard to complete things that you would have done because they were important to you in the past. You've lost touch with what is important to you now. You feel isolated. You feel scared. You feel alone. You feel like there's no one who will understand, even if you could articulate fully how you felt. And what I've come to know is that there's an inextricable link between women like you and my path. Because my gift has always been helping women like you find and have themselves again. And having had to rescue myself from being lost forever, I have turned my own personal challenge into triumph. And on the deepest levels possible, I get you. I get your pain. I get your disconnection. I get your fear. I know how you feel. And I see and I hold women like you with such power and focus that it enables you to see and remember and reconnect with a powerful, visionary, articulate, capable, and creative woman that you are. So if you are a woman who has lost yourself and you're committed to doing whatever it takes to find yourself again, your soul knows what you've been needing. And I've been told time and time again that the space that I hold is like a lighthouse on dry land for women like you who've been adrift on stormy seas, who've not felt like you had a place where you could land and be held and be safe. And so I call you in now. The world needs you to find yourself. You need you to find yourself. You need to be present to life. Your family needs you. Your children need you. The world needs you. This is not the life that you were meant to live. A life of detachment. A life of being an observer, not taking part. That's not the life that you're meant for. You're meant for something much grander, much more important, filled with meaning and power and connectivity and presence and refuge and deep, deep healing and transformation can be yours now, right now in this moment. And you too can learn to leverage your personal challenge and turn it into triumph. As I did, you can learn how you can take this life event that you've been through and rise like a phoenix from the ashes. I'm calling you in. In my arms you will find a lighthouse, that dry land you've been searching for as you've been adrift on those stormy seas. You are here and your life depends on what you decide next. In this precious moment, in this moment of now, you can begin rebuilding your life. So if this is you and you consider yourself, you're seeing yourself in this description of being lost to yourself and you want more than anything, you know that you'll do anything to find and have yourself again. Let's look at what that would look like for you. Let's look at what it would require for us to reclaim, to recall that aspect of you, bring that into the present moment so that you can be more complete and more cohesive and more yourself as you move into the future. So let's get on a call and we can just have a chat about what that looks like for you, where you are now and what's required to get you to that place of connection and grace and ease and flow. So I look forward to hearing from you. Let's get on a call, and this can be the moment that things begin changing for you.